Let's move on to Kappa Gamma, which is the greatest lawsuit I've ever seen. I mean, this may be my favorite case, and I've done so many Kelly's Court. It's wonderful. You are welcome, America, from me for bringing it to you. University of Wyoming. This is incredible. 7 sorority sisters are suing the Kappa Gamma fraternity, they say, though it's a sorority. I guess they're all technically fraternities, but claiming that Kappa Gamma has violated its stated purpose by inducting a transgender member. The transgender member really wanted to be a Kappa. I personally was a Tri-Delt, and this was never an issue at Tri-Delt. But Kappa Gamma at Syracuse was the very, very blonde, very, very sweater set, pearl wearing group of gals who had tea while we were throwing back shots, Jello shots over at Tri-Delt. Okay, so it was a different land back then, apparently, because now Kappa Gamma has gone trans. And now, I'm sorry, but it's not like, a trans person who's really making an effort to pass as a woman and trying to blend in, like really just wants to be a Kappa. This is the trans person, okay? And this trans person, this is a man who wanted to join Kappa, did the pledging in August and was rejected. Probably because he has a penis, but he didn't get in. Then he decided to go through the informal process that came a couple months later, where it's called like an open bid. Students through meetups, usually to test for compatibility with the sorority, get together, and you can use that loophole to get in. Though the girls were told there's a 99.9% chance we will not be offering this person, whose name is Artemis, a bid. So not to worry. Got to go through these hoops, but Artemis is not coming in. Well, wrong. Because then they did something in coordination, alleged lawsuit, with the national chapter that wanted more trans people, where they had not an anonymous vote on Artemis, but a public vote. You had to register your email to offer your vote. And Vinny, the girls felt pressured, and they were explicitly told, if your answer is no on Artemis, you have to say why specifically. It has to be like a personality trait that you've encountered. So you must have met him. They felt like they were going to be, and they said, it'll be rejected as bigotry. So he got in. And then, I don't know if you've read the details, but it's absolutely horrifying what happened with Artemis inside the sorority house after that. This is a picture of the girls with Artemis over there on the left. I don't have to point that out because it's blatantly obvious which one of these things is not like the others. So, what do you make of the case before we get into the details?
Vinny, go for the legal side of this. I'll go for the social, cultural side.
Well, I want to know what the bylaws are with the sorority and what they're, what you agree to when you agree to be a member of all this, and what the rights and responsibilities are back and forth. I didn't pledge, so I don't know. The other part of this is when you get into some of these other allegations, I think that's probably a better route for the sorority members that don't want the new member to be a member of the sorority, and that is some of the behavior that they are alleging. To me, that's a much better route. This is going to get really messy, but to me, it's almost like a contract case, right? And I want to know what exactly each side has promised to one another as a member and being a member. So I think that's the first part of the attack for the plaintiffs here.
I'm
dancing around this one. This is a dangerous position because I don't want to say the wrong thing here.
Welcome to my world, Vinny. Go ahead, Vinny.
And at some point, people are just going to have to, I don't say that you lack a spine, but people are just going to have to say, I'm going to say it, even if it's going to be unpopular. That might be part and parcel of the problem that got to this in the first place. People didn't want to vote not anonymously because they didn't want to deal with the repercussions. And then this is what happens. The bylaws, as far as I understand, it was a sorority set up for ladies. So this might be Ketanji Jackson Brown's like SCOTUS decision.
Any lady. They use that. 1871 bylaws say any lady may become a candidate for membership who shall be of good moral character and above average talent. By the way, Artemis, not for nothing, has a 1.9 GPA. 1.9.
this might be the moment when Ketanji Jackson Brown gets that expert biologist on the stand at SCOTUS to say what a woman is. Like, what's a lady? What was a lady in 1870? It's a no-brainer what was intended by the bylaws. The behavioral side of it, because apparently, in addition to not meeting the scholastic criteria, the individual also would sit around watching the girls change, basically. This reminds me of the case up in Canada where you had this teacher who purported to be trans, wearing obscenely, ridiculously large prosthetic breasts in woodshop class.
Story too.
And I'm convinced that this is people trolling, and these are people who are trying to push the limits of push the limits of a tolerant society.
Disagree. Sexual fetishes working themselves out on our children and our sorority sisters. That's what it's not a troll. That guy in Canada is a dude who takes off those enormous breasts. He was caught by Rebel News up there. It's the most unbelievable report I've ever seen. That 10 minutes by the Rebel News was spectacular. They chased him down. It's Kayla Lemieux without the enormous boobs. And he runs, and then the Rebel News reporter runs. They're farce.
They all brave and demand their rights until it comes time to answer questions for their conduct. But when a troll as to whether or not it's to push the limits or a troll as in to push their fetishes, we're agreeing on the same principle, just different explanations.
Yes.
But it is. This is what happens when women who have been reluctant to be vocal about defending women's rights. In the name of tolerance, in the name of, social media virtue signaling sort of that type of currency, don't say anything. And then lo and behold, you now have to change in front of a biological male. It's like, Megyn, I've been saying this for a little while. 5 years ago, under the hashtag #MeToo movement, Jeffrey Rush was being canceled because he allegedly exposed himself to female members of crew on a film. And now you got Riley Gaines, you got these sorority girls here who are being compelled to undress in front of biological males. And they're being, in Riley Gaines' case, even physically assaulted by men while speaking up for women's rights. The world has gone absolutely topsy-turvy mad. And it takes a bit of courage and a bit of willingness to deal with the blowback to say, I'm voting against it, and here's why, and I'm within my rights. And if you do it,
I wish I had been in this sorority. I wish I had been in this. I would have walked right over Artemis and said, what the fuck are you doing with your hand down your pants? Get your hand out of your pants right now and get the hell out of this sorority right now before I call the police on your ass. You are 100% evicted from the sorority. The only question now is whether you're going to prison. That's it. All right, you're kicked out. I'm probably going to sue you. And my next call is going to be to 911. Get out. Here's what he did. The lawsuit accuses, allegedly, him of sitting on the couch in the second floor common area, not studying, watching the women. The women felt uneasy as he stared at them without talking for hours. One sorority member walked down the hall to take a shower wearing only a towel. She felt an unsettling presence, turned, and saw Artemis watching her silently. The lawsuit alleges that Artemis behaved inappropriately around the sorority sisters on numerous occasions, including once when Artemis had an erection visible through his leggings. Other times, he had a pillow in his lap. Oh, I wonder what was going on beneath that pillow. The complaint alleges that Artemis took photographs of the women at awkward moments when they were not prepared, when they were at a sorority slumber party. Artemis, I am going to beat the... Okay. Then the question... apparently he repeatedly questioned the women about what vaginas look like, breast cup size, whether women were considering breast reductions and birth control. You know what? I've had this experience with newly trans people myself. They think that women sit around and talk about this shit. We don't. That is not what women sit around and talk about. Like they think this is like fitting in. Look, what does your vagina look like? Abby, what is...
I'm afraid I cannot partake in this. I can't partake in this portion of the conversation. But Megyn, you say I would have called the cops. If you're in Canada and you call the cops, like you saw what happened to Billboard Chris out in Vancouver, where he gets physically assaulted by a man at a, and then the cop is there saying, "Well, you're wearing a billboard that says children can't consent to puberty blockers. That's provocation." I mean, you're not even sure to get justice from the police or the courts. It's what happens when the entire system has been captured by ideology.
Oh my gosh, you're so right.
Suit. This should be a sexual harassment suit. That's what it should be. That should be your basis, and you bring in the sorority as well for enabling all of it. That's where you have to go. Let them fight that. Let them fight that fight. That's the one that you want. Then
You
you've got the whole-
endangered us. Exactly right. You endangered us. You pressured us. You made us unable to reject this person who we could identify as a potential pervert. And then we were subjected to his lewd and lascivious behaviors. Going to bed at a decent hour did not always mean I got enough sleep. Often I was too hot, too cold, not that comfortable. That changed with my Cozy Earth bedding. The softest, most luxurious, it really is, and responsibly sourced bedding on the planet. Cozy Earth bedding is naturally temperature regulating, so I sleep great in any weather. And I am not alone. Allison leaves this 5-star review. Love them. Softest, most comfortable sheets I've ever slept on. Cozy Earth bedding is made from 100% premium viscose from bamboo. Cozy Earth is so confident you are going to love their products. They offer a 100-night sleep trial, which means you have up to 100 nights to sleep on it, wash it, try it out. If you're not completely in love, just send it back for a full refund. Whether it's their luxury sheets, their loungewear, pajamas, or new bath towel collection, you will love shopping at Cozy Earth. And now you can order their bedding in 5 awesome colors. Hurry though, save 35% right now on Cozy Earth. Go to CozyEarth.com, enter my promo code Megyn, and save 35%. CozyEarth.com, promo code Megyn, M-E-G-Y-N, CozyEarth.com. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.